Hey guys, I'm Pennyboard and you're listening to Bacon is My Podcast. I just wanted to pop in and let you know that my new single, Pills for Brains, is out everywhere, wherever you listen to music. I'm an alternative pop artist from Dallas, Texas. I'm also an independent artist, so it'd mean the world to me if you check it out. You can find me on all social media at Pennyboard Band. And yeah, hope to see you at a show soon.
Welcome.
Hi.
To Discussion and Drinks, where today we are drinking Sunny D Vodka Seltzer. It is a favorite of a friend of ours named Guns.
Yeah.
Mike Gunzelman, if you will.
I've never had it.
I have never had it either.
I've had lots of Sunny D in my lifetime.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
But I'm excited to try this because I saw him drinking that.
Because it's not the purple stuff. Soda, the purple stuff.
Sunny D! Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I'm excited for this Discussion and Drinks because of this. Sunny D, I didn't realize it was vodka seltzer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it. I was hoping it was just more Sunny D and vodka.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, and then I saw that when you brought it in. I was like, oh, okay, it's a different thing.
But I'm excited too.
Hey, you know what? You gotta make Sunny D with water. So
you're right. We're excited to catch up from the week, and we're also excited to catch up.
Let me turn that off.
Please. We're excited to catch up on all the thing RASSLIN. That's wrestling.
Wrestling.
So we should probably do that, and let's cue that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, and if people want to tune out because we said wrestling, now's the time.
Yeah, here we go.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
How those balls looking?
You know what season is, right?
I do indeed. It is time.
It is time for smooth sack summer. And how do I keep everything smooth, everything tidy, everything the way it should be?
Well, I don't know how you do, but I'll tell you how I do. Manscaped, buddy. You know how much we love the crop mops. You know how much we love the lawnmower, but they have the Performance Package 4.0 now.
They did a little upgrade to the Weed Whacker. Weed Whacker is, of course, the nose and ear hair trimmer. It is now the 2.0. And also, they are getting into the beard game. They've got their brand new beard trimmer, which is fantastic. So go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD, and that will give you 20% off and free shipping.
That's right. So don't forget to work on those testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks. Keep them clean and ask yourself, what's your bacon?
Sunny D Vodka Seltzer. It contains alcohol. It's gluten-free.
0 grams of sugar?
It's... What?
It's sugar-free? How is that possible?
It's a seltzer thing. It's a seltzer thing. Seltzer always gives you like that aroma thing, but that's not like Sunny D, so that makes me less.
Yeah,
every time I read this box or read this thing, I'm just like
new information
that makes me go, I'm less excited about this.
Yeah, I was ready for like that super like thick.
Oh yeah, viscousy orange drink.
Yeah.
Don't say orange juice because it wasn't orange juice.
Definitely not that.
It was orange drink.
It's definitely an orange drink. There's the color and there's the action verb.
Yeah, man. So, how was your week?
Not bad. What did I do this week? God, it went by really, really fast.
I feel like this summer has just been insanely fast.
Yeah, it is flying.
But at the same time, you think about when you think about the action you did last week. So like, when you go, we had a show last weekend. It feels like a month ago.
That's true, for sure.
It's so weird.
It does feel like that show. Like, even when you asked, my first thought was like, well, we had the show last week, and then I was like, no, wait, was that 2 weeks ago? Because it feels like it was longer.
Right.
It really does. It's crazy.
And we talked about that show on this show last week already.
Right, exactly.
And still, it's like, fuck, it feels like a month ago.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
I don't either.
It's really odd. But yeah, so my week has been work. It's been work and rehearsals and working on music.
Well, I'm super excited because
Yeah.
you had Dave come in, and I listened to some of the demos and
Yeah,
stuff like that, and you're thinking about adding a fourth song to the mix, which is like, ooh,
Yeah, we had a newer one that kind of came together super recently.
it's super cool to watch. It's super cool to watch you go into a situation, right? And you're like, okay, I'm gonna do these 3 songs, and then all of a sudden a front runner pop up, and you go, this is undeniable. We got to do this.
Yeah.
And that's super cool. I'm sure it's shit. I've done that in bands before,
Right.
But I feel like it's even cooler to watch from an outside perspective because I've been listening to these other songs for a little while.
Right,
Like,
right. And
but
that's like this other one just...
Then all of a sudden something else pops up, and you're like, this is like front runners.
Yeah,
kind of
like
shit.
it jumped ahead of
And
a bunch of other
made
things.
me super excited. I'm like, oh, there's another song.
Right,
This is
right.
great. That's really cool. I love that.
Yeah, I keep feeling like, and I feel like I say this a lot too. Like I keep feeling like and saying that like I'm having a hard time writing or that I have writer's block or something like that. But then every time I think about that, I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, we were working on 3 songs and a new one just kind of happened, and we have released a bunch of music over the past couple of years, and so it's like it feels like it because there's a long period of time between writing things, but it also doesn't feel like it because it feels like we're always kind of in the process of working on.
Well,
stuff.
I think that's the new way of doing things when it comes to singles and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
so you got your you'd have your album cycles.
Right.
Album cycles are you write a record, takes about a year and a half, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you release that record, you tour it for 2 or 3 years, you go back in.
Yeah.
And now it's way different where it's okay. Every 2 years you put a record out. But you're still touring, you're still writing, you're still recording,
yeah.
you're still all that stuff.
Right, right.
And we're at more of the local level at this point, and you guys are essentially recording a record, regardless of if it's 3 songs or 4 songs.
Right.
But you're releasing them differently, so but I find it really interesting that you guys record all the main stuff at once.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go back in individually to treat each song as if it's a record.
Right. Yeah. That was definitely a conscious decision to do something different.
Right.
Because it was always, before it was like, okay, do all the basic tracks, and then it was like, okay, let's try and get vocals for these bunch of songs, like vocal day. Well, how many songs can we get done today?
Yeah.
You
It
know,
used to be, you do things
Yeah.
accordingly, and you bang out as much as you can for the one record.
Right, and everything's kind of happening at the same time. But this is like, get your basic tracks done, and then get some scratch vocals down, and then see which ones kind of giving you some feelings first, and then do it till it's done.
And then take a direction.
Right, and then move on to one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Right. So that's been cool, and I think it's actually helped with the whole kind of like writer's block type thing as well, because you're spreading things out. If we had released everything at once, if we had released like Rise, Ashes, Say It All, like all, what have we released? Like 6 songs so far? If we had released them all as an EP at once, because we had them all at once, that would have been when Rise came out, which was 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all 6 of those songs would have come out 3 years ago, and we wouldn't have released anything for 3 years. Whereas now, because of the way we did it, it's like, we released a song a year ago. You know, and It's like, and not even a year ago, you know, like
Sure.
however many months ago that was. So it just makes everything feel more consistent, and feel like even if I'm having a hard time working on something new, I'm still kind of working on something else that's about to come out that's new.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. I found it really interesting.
I think that's a really interesting approach, personally. What I also think is interesting, we haven't opened this up yet.
No,
We should do that.
I think we got less excited when we saw no sugar and we saw seltzer. But you know what? I bet it's still going to be great. Smells like Sunny D.
Oh yeah, straight up
Smells
smells
just
Sunny D.
like Sunny D.
All right.
I love
Cheers,
that
my
smell,
friend.
dude. I love that smell. Cheers to you.
That's really good.
That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's really good. And it doesn't. I'm not like we're not sweets guys, so
I'm kind of a sweets guy.
yeah, but you're
I'm more so than you, but like again,
you're definitely more than me, but you're
I'm
also
still-
a little bit of you're also the sweet and savory guy, whereas
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
straight up. I like the savory stuff.
right.
If I have something sweet, I need to chase it with a salty.
Yes, that's true. That's true for you. Absolutely, absolutely.
Like I can have
you'll eat
a giant piece of cake, but if I don't have like a potato chip
right,
after,
right.
my day is like.
But you'll sit
fucked.
down with chips, and you don't need a sweet
No.
to go with it. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I'll eat a bunch of chips or something like that, and I'll be like, I need something sweet now.
I'm curious as to if this has aspartame on it.
That's
in
I was gonna ask you because I don't taste.
I don't
like,
taste
and
it.
that's the one thing that you kind of always you're sensitive to. You always say that aspartame taste when something's sugar free, but maybe it's stevia. Maybe one of those other things.
It doesn't have any ingredients on the can.
see what we got
Perhaps on the box.
See what we got on the box. We took your favorite legendary orange flavor and added vodka. Okay, gluten free, so that's good. All you celiacs. What else we got? No ingredients. That's suspect.
Well, are there ingredients in a Jameson bottle?
Probably not.
Let's see.
I wonder if like liquor doesn't need that. Maybe there's no law that says you have to do the ingredients.
Perhaps. It sounds like it's the case.
Yeah, I wonder what they sweeten it with then.
Well, it's not. It's not overly sweet. There is a sweetness still.
I like it. When I was a kid, I used to make gumdrops with Sunny D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just get out like parchment paper and you put very little water in it, just enough to get them to kind of like stick together, and then you put
Yeah.
it in the fridge and let it firm up, or the freezer and let it firm up, and you've got a gumdrop.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Sunny D.
Yeah, man.
Good shit, man. This week for me was actually pretty good. It was like that show hangover thing. I had this this weird feeling, and I think it was because like if you look over here, I have a little dry erase board with
Yeah.
a bunch of song titles and where we're at on recording and stuff like that. I think that due to the lack of schedule in the summer because the kids are off and I don't know, like all of a sudden I was just like, man, I haven't written this song in a while.
And you bang them out. You're
Right. I feel like I do.
yeah, you absolutely do.
And it's weird. I just feel like just recently I haven't really been writing a ton. But like I like this week I was working on something with you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh well, before that we were writing the country song. And,
Right.
and stuff like that. So maybe I'm not, but it's weird because all of a sudden I was just like, you haven't been writing a lot. You need to figure something out. So like I started like just throwing fresh strings on different guitars and different
Right.
tunings and like, okay, man, figure it out.
Pause quick. I do see Ziggy looked it up for us. As per their website, it is stevia that
Okay.
they sweeten it with.
So Stevia is...
That's why we don't taste aspartame.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ziggy.
Thank you, Ziggy.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
to our patrons hanging out live.
Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers to you guys. Yeah, it was.
We
just
gotta go
like-
see his band.
Yes, we do.
We do gotta
Feast
go
Your
see
Eyes,
his
we do
band.
need to
Feast
see
Your
him.
Eyes. We gotta make a trip to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry we haven't yet. I apologize.
I agree. Shout out to Feast Your Eyes.
Yeah, I saw some video though.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
You guys should record something.
Yeah.
Record something.
Yeah, record something.
Let's do something. Bring you on the show.
Do it here.
Do it here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Just love how I'm just like, yeah, do it here in Mike's studio.
I'm okay with it. I'm alright with it.
I'll
It's
book
cool.
your time. Come on in.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Jimmy's gonna be producer.
Yeah, I'll dude. I love that.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a producer.
You have a
I
really
love it.
cool producer brain when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Thank you. I hope so. I never know. I always feel like I'm like imposing.
No,
You
no
know?
honestly, and that's why we've talked about it a few times. That so something heavy. We have a new song coming out. It's called Hurt. We had Jimmy come in to do vocals, and he was the guy that was pushing me to do what I have to do to make it right. And I wanted that because you're pretty darn good at it, guy.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would love the chance to sit like we got to work with G,
Right.
and that was super fun and super cool. And I really like I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the song that we did with her. I'm proud of
The performance.
the
we got out of it.
I'm proud of her record anyway, just for her sake, not anything that we had to do with anything with it, but it was super cool to be able to be a part of it,
Yeah.
and to kind of like help with that and to I guess sit on that side of it. That was really kind of my first time doing that.
Yeah,
on something that wasn't mine.
It's one of those things where you're, and I think it's really important, and I think Dave does it really, really, really well.
Yeah.
It's a steering the ship, but not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's already a ship built,
Right.
but you're trying to navigate it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're helping chart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're looking at the same map and you're looking at the same direction and you're looking at the same goal, but you're
Is
kind
there
of
better?
yeah, you're kind of going, well, what if we go this way
Mhm.
instead of this way? And how do you feel about that? And if we go this way, we can still get back over here if we need to.
Right.
And so it's really cool. I definitely base how I approach helping out. I won't say that I produce as of yet, but as far as helping out with people's stuff, I definitely approach it based on how Dave approaches us.
I don't. When I do, like you, the few things that I've been involved with, I don't take cues from certain people that I've worked with in a heavy way.
Right.
Because I have felt like utter dog shit
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until working with Dave and even a couple other people, but I do think that when it comes to production and being a producer, you have to be able to give criticism, and also as an artists have to be open to taking criticism.
You have to take it. Yeah.
You have to, and
that doesn't mean take it like a punch. It means take
like,
it, absorb it.
If somebody like a producer shouldn't be turning around to you and going, "Well, that sucked."
Right.
A producer needs to like nurture a project.
I'm very lucky that I've never had that experience.
Oh man, it's rough.
Right?
It's,
like no, and
it's fucking rough.
Yeah, the only experience, like when I was in my band in high school, we went and went to a producer, but we still kind of, or we went to an engineer really, and we produced and engineered our own record. And then when it came to Sickness Monday, we produced and engineered our own record. And the first Craven Strange stuff was our stuff, and then we worked with Dave.
All right. Time out. We've got all these awesome sponsors here.
Right.
Where can they find all the information out for that?
Oh, if only there was a place. If there was only
A portal.
a hub.
A central hub to
A
do so.
central location.
I think there is.
Do we have the technology?
Yes. Baconismypodcast.com is where you can find the best deals on all of our awesome sponsors, including Drink Wild Bills, Pod Decks, Manscaped, all of them. Go over there, find their promo codes. You always get the best deals. But what else can you get over there?
Well, not only can you get the best deals, and we'll always keep those up to date, you can also help out the show by grabbing some t-shirts, some swag. Jump over to the Bacon is My Fashion section. Yeah, there's a whole section. It's just there for you. It's there for you. You can check it out. We have nice t-shirts. They don't chafe. The nice to the nips, you know I like that.
You know Jimmy's all about his nice to the nips.
I'm like the
shirts.
Drax of this show. You know? I got sensitive nipples, man. I got sensitive nipples. If you have sensitive nipples, check that out. And you know what? How about your ear holes? You want to take care of those ear holes? Because you can find links to all of our episodes. How about your eyeballs? You want those eyeballs? You can find links to our YouTube, Strangerhood TV. You can check out everything right from baconismypodcast.com. It's easy. It's super simple. It's right there. What's your bacon?
I will say that when you go to this site, that will be your new bacon.
That will be your new bacon. Check it out.
Well, I think something that is, and I think we've spoken about this on the show before, but I do think that there's a big, huge distinction between producing and engineering.
I think they're completely different things.
And
yeah.
I do think that there are a lot of outfits out there. I know there's plenty here that people go, this person produced our record. Mm-hmm. Well, if you went in and you recorded songs and they said, why don't you put a backup here? Or if they went and added a swell at the beginning of a song, they didn't produce your record.
Right.
Producing is being an additional member to the band. If you're a 4-piece, that's a 5th piece. If you're a 5-piece, it's the 6th piece. If you're a 3-piece, it's a 4th piece. It's somebody being a part of the band and also being able to alter things, change things, give suggestion. And it doesn't matter how old the song is. You could have written it 25 years ago. You could have written it last week. You have to be able to be willing to work with it.
Yeah, well, I think the best proof that engineering and producing are two different things is that you can hire someone to engineer your stuff that doesn't tell you a damn thing.
Well, I feel like there are a lot of people who said, okay, yeah, we'll record your record, and then bands will in turn go, well, they produced our record.
Right.
And it's like, no, they didn't. No, they just recorded you.
Right. If produce means, like, I created this with you. You didn't.
Like,
you know?
Yeah. Producer is basically an additional creator to what you're doing.
And you can hire a producer, and they don't
touch a mixing board.
They don't touch a mixing board ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of producers, I know, hire engineers so that they don't have to touch a mixing board, so they can just be creative.
Yes.
So, and I know Dave even wants to do that. And he'll do that from time to time. Yeah. Because he's like, if I'm on this end of it, I don't necessarily want to have my brain on that side of it too.
It's another brain.
How do you? So
it's probably a lot of what I need to like what I've been trying to figure out recently.
Yeah. How do you handle that? Do you feel that you're more of, if you had to pick a direction, are you more of on your own music? Are you more of a producer or are you more of an engineer?
I feel like more recently, I put songs together from a producer brain.
Okay.
I'm always a writer, right? So like I'll write, but I do feel like I put it together from a producer brain, and it's why I demo. It's why I bring it up all the time here. It's why I have that like core group of people that I will send a song to, like yourself, like DJ, or like Joey D'Amaco. Hey man, I just put this together. Let me know what you think.
Right.
And I look for feedback, and if the feedback comes back as like, oh, this is good, then I move forward.
Right.
I'll sit with it. I'll sit with it for a few weeks before, like, it's a demo, right? It's a demo. Like, when I do a demo, it's literally because I've played those parts for the first time ever that night while I wrote it.
Right.
In a lot of cases. So I'll sit with it. I'll let it simmer. You know, I'll add things here. I'll add things there when I need to. If I hear something later on, I'll do it.
When do you turn on and off the producer ear? Like, when you are tracking, and you're tracking by yourself, right? Are you listening with a producer ear, or are you listening with an engineer ear and you're trying to get clean tracks and just make sure that you've got what you need to work with? Or are you listening to it as a producer and always thinking like, what can I add to this? What can I do to this? What can I do to this? Versus when you have all your tracks and you're mixing.
Right.
And do you, at that point, turn on the producer and start doing that?
Well, when I'm in an engineer brain, so when it comes to tracking, I track in a producer brain.
Okay.
I will never mix the same night.
Okay.
At the same time, I will also not mix for more than 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
At a time. Because as long as I have the core sounds, like my main mixing session will take, to get the core things to where I need them to be. The kick, the snare, I've been doing it for long enough that I'm lucky enough to have some templates, some templates that are good starting points. So that I can easily do. And sometimes I'll do like my first mixing session, and then I'll be like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
But after that, anything after that, I don't do anything for more than 25 to 30 minutes tops, because you'll immediately get your ear fatigue.
That makes sense.
So when I track, I do track from a producer brain. I've been working very hard on the vocal side of things. I know on the instrument side of things, I have it where I can work as a producer brain, still come out with solid tracks, and then turn around, and then it's really about like doing the takes and then turning around and then going, okay, where does this need to be cleaned up? Okay, cool, you can punch in here. Okay, you can punch in here, and then you go to the next thing, and okay, I'll punch in here and I'll punch in here. I don't sit there and like start a song, stop it. Start a song, stop it. Start a song, stop it. Like I'll sit here with a guitar, and if a dirty guitar doesn't play for 40 seconds, I'll sit here with that dirty guitar still there because I'm in the song. I'm still recording.
Right, you have this like, okay, can something go here? Do I hear something? Do I feel something?
Right, but
Last
even
minute
still,
shit.
it's like okay, well I can record this intro and then bump it up 40 seconds and then go to the chorus and start just there and stuff like that. But it takes you out. Every time you start and stop and you touch a keyboard while you have your instrument, you're starting and stopping.
Right.
And it's just...
That's interesting. That makes a lot of sense, actually. because I've never, because I don't do that, so
Yeah.
I don't know, But that's interesting to me because I know that even from the perspective of sitting there with a guitar in my hands on overdub day, whether it's with Dave or whether it was with Jimmy or whatever, there were a lot of times where they were doing a lot of engineer start stop, and I was sitting there with a guitar going, just let it play. Let it play. Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? I have an idea. Let's go. And wrestling with okay, I need to wait for them to do this. They're hearing something their way and they're having to figure that out, and I need to just have patience, and then I can be creative. Quotes creative or annoying, depending on who you ask. So that's interesting. I can't imagine what that would be like, trying to juggle that. You'd have to pick one, right?
Yeah, you do have to pick one. I do think that there's a certain point, like I don't pick up a guitar. I mean, yes, there are certain points when you come out here and you're like, okay, this is what I have to do. Mm-hmm. But when I have to do tracks, it's like, okay, well, pick up with the guitar. You're a guitar player. And like I said, every time you touch a keyboard, that's what changes you from the musician to the engineer.
Right, okay.
So
how do you wrestle with that when you're singing?
That's been the hardest thing.
Okay.
That has been the hardest thing, and I think that's a lot of, your criticism and even Jen's criticism of some of the recordings where it's the voice is not like a guitar,
Right.
Like I can't just sit here and play through it 100 times.
Right.
Just can't.
Well, and also, if every time you have to do it over, you still have to stop, and then you have to come over here, and you have to come out of your little booth. Mm-hmm. You don't, like when I was here, it was like you stayed in there, mm-hmm. and it was like do it again, do it again. Right. So you're still kind of in it, even though. Well, you're still hearing it the same way that you would hear it if you were by the keyboard.
I think. Again, I'm trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to working with you help me try find another thing that this is a tool that I need to use.
Right. Okay.
I a lot of times would stand here and go, okay, I need to do this, and after every take, what I do is I'd sing through the song, and then I'd go, okay, I want to do the verses, so I'd focus on the verses. Mm-hmm. But when I do it, like you said, I was in a very engineer frame of mind.
Right.
Where it was okay, make sure that this sounds good.
Right.
As opposed to
get into what does this song mean?
So every time I would turn around and change, do the verse and redo the verse and stuff like that. Yeah, it's hitting a keyboard. And that's what changes it. Right.
And if you're in your head, I just know for me, if I do a take and I have something in my brain that okay, I know what I need to do different. Mm-hmm. I know what I need to do different. It'll drive me nuts sometimes waiting for that next chance to do the take. Mm-hmm. Right? Where I'm just don't talk to me. Just let's go. Don't explain anything to me. Let's not stop. Let's not pause.
I understand. I understand the fault. I'm correcting it.
Or even what you're saying isn't the thing that I have in my head. I need to. Let
me get this out.
Let me get this thing right. I can only imagine that if I had to walk away from the mic, go over, get on the keyboard, just to do it again, walk back around.
Well, see, I think
feel
from
that would take me out of it even.
From that respect, I don't have to wait for somebody else.
Right. Right, but you're still controlling that part of it.
I am still controlling that part of it, but I'm still able to go back and do that thing, and that has created some magic in mm-hmm. some of the songs. I'm not gonna lie, that's been a great contributor, a few times here and there, but yeah, I think. From a song on the overall, I have to try and start treating it more like doing it instrumentally. And even if I like, again, and you know, this is something that I've said, and I've to some band members and to some people, that is like a huge benefit, is to be able to record on your own, right?
Yeah.
And even if I need to record verses one day or one verse one day, and I'm taking out of the element, I think I need to learn personally to go, all right, my time in this space in my head has passed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too far this brain. Time to step away.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's just like
it's
just like the mixing and the engineer thing. Like,
right.
I have to do that in small increments, because if I don't, I'll be obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
You get obsessed with things, and you're not just obsessed with things from an engineer point of view. You're obsessed with it from a writer creator point of view, where you're like, yeah, but I really wanted this to sound this way. It's a juggling act.
Do you think that it's what do you think is the harder thing to avoid being distracted by, right? Is it harder to avoid engineer brain, where you're just trying to get something that's the perfect take and making sure that, okay, the timing's right, the pitch is right, this is right, and you get that, and it's like, that's what we got to get? Is it harder to avoid going down that rabbit hole and losing emotion and feeling, or is it harder to like go, okay, this is not a technically perfect take, but man, the feeling's there, let's just either fix this or leave it?
I think that if you take enough takes, you can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix it properly. It's really a matter of stepping away, and stepping away enough, and stepping away a lot. If you're going to self-produce, you got to step away a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten those really good emotional takes before, but like been so, oh man, this is well, like, so well put out and so well said and so well sang.
This one sounds better.
For this, you know, like, yeah, this is emotionally raw and great and this and that, but like, this just sounds way better.
Right.
It's hard. It's a juggling act. It's a juggling act that, you know, and I'm still working on it to this day. Like, I passed out.
It's like there's no right answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I passed out this last song to. I asked you to help us out, and I asked Dave to help me out, because it's a learning experience for me. I want to get better at it, and I want to see, okay, well, the way that you did this with us, how can I take that and do that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like a lot of the things that we talk about. Like, you know, we talk about with artists on this show that are working, you know, like we work with a lot of PR, and if it's an artist that isn't getting contacts from us after the show to have for themselves, then they're not working hard enough.
Right.
If they're not staying in contact because they may or may not sign with this PR company again.
Right.
If they're not taking a contact and reusing that contact, then they're losing out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know, I one of those people that did that, and you've heard if you're listening to Discussion and Drinks and you're a listener here, Alex from Vatican. Alex reached out to me. He said, "Hey man, like I have a new song coming out. You mind if were you serious?"
Right.
I said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm serious. Let's do it. Send over a video. Let's do it." Alicia from Pennyboard, same thing. They sent it over. So you'll be you probably heard it at the opening of this show. Right. But they're not necessarily working with the same PR people they were working with prior. And if you're not taking every experience and learning from it and trying to better yourself from it,
taking everything you can from it.
Right.
I know that when I go in, and I don't remember, but I probably did it to you when we recorded, like the stuff for Bacon's My Passion too. But when I go in to Dave, I had to sit with him first and go, the most important thing to me is if the listener is buying what I'm singing. Right? That's more important to me than perfection. That's more important to me than a technically perfect take. That's more important to me than anything. And I had to establish that from the beginning so that that's what he's listening for. And it's his job then that's what he's listening for in a take, and then go after that, okay, how do I make this technically work if it's not perfect?
Right.
Without losing the performance, the emotion, or the buying it for that. You know what I mean? So I would find that tricky to do for myself, because I'll hear takes back that I at first am not crazy about, and he's like, no, like, you want the message to come across, and I'm telling you right now as a listener, you came across in this one in a unique and different way.
I think, again, that
and that's that benefit of having another set of ears.
Right. But that's instant gratification, right?
Sure.
So let's just say, like, for a great example is you work in an office setting and you get an email and you write an email back as a reactionary email to what you just saw.
Okay.
Immediately after. If you're sending that email right away, that is probably going to be riddled with insults or snide responses or etc.
Right. Or too much praise, if that's the one.
You need to turn around. You need to give it a minute.
Right.
Come back at least 30 minutes later and reread that email and say, okay, do I feel the same way right now? It's the same thing with vocal stuff where you gotta be able to come back to it. I never do vocal comps the same day. Timeout time.
How those balls looking?
You know what season is, right?
I do indeed. It is time.
It is time for smooth sack summer. And how do I keep everything smooth, everything tidy, everything the way it should be?
Well, I don't know how you do, but I'll tell you how I do. Manscaped, buddy. You know it. You've been listening. You've been seeing the show. We've been talking about it. You know how much we love the crop mops. You know how much we love the lawnmower, but they have the Performance Package 4.0 now.
Where they did a little upgrade to the Weed Whacker. Weed Whacker is, of course, the nose and ear hair trimmer. It is now the 2.0, as opposed to the 1.0. Now,
right. That's one better.
I used the 1.0. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then they sent the 2.0, and I said, how could it be better? It is. It just is. I don't know how they do it, but Manscaped keeps upping their game. And
I've been digging the lawnmower for a long time. Right. I like the skin safe technology. I still use the guard. But no. I have not once nicked a thread on the beanbag.
Yes.
Not once.
Yep.
Now, you don't want to lose any beans.
No.
Everyone.
No, you don't.
You don't want to lose beans, and with other methods, oh man, you could lose a bean.
Yeah.
But not with Manscaped.
Exactly. And also, they are getting into the beard game. They've got their brand new beard trimmer, which is fantastic. So go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD, and that will give you 20% off and free shipping.
That's right. So don't forget to work on those testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks. Keep them clean and ask yourself, what's your bacon? Smooth Sack Summer. Oh yeah,
I I'll come out, I'll do them, and then I've learned that I need to step away because I've done something where I'm like, oh, I'm dead set on doing this and recording it and releasing it and this and that, and I'll sit there and I'll do vocal comps the next day, and you can't do it.
Yeah. See, what I will do though that I feel like I wouldn't be able to do if I was recording myself, right? And what it like when I was here with you, I was okay. This take for this line.
Yeah,
this take for this line.
I have your notes here.
Right. So it in a way
very hard to navigate. By
yes. Yeah. Well, because it's like if I was the one then comping it, I would understand it.
Yeah.
Probably not a day later.
Right.
But it's that way of like, okay, right now let me throw this together because this gets the idea. And then when I go back, I know that this was my starting point, and do I have a better take of any of these things in here that fits better with this or that? But my first reaction, my gut reaction was like, as soon as you sang something, it was like, oh, that line.
Right.
That line's pretty great. So I feel like you might lose the ability to do that, which I guess could be a hindrance or not a hindrance because you're not also attaching yourself to something.
Yeah, I think,
and you're also not hearing it.
I think the key to a lot of self production boils down to one word: patience.
Yeah.
And us as artists, we're super stoked and super excited and just like. We just want to put this out. We want to put this out. We want to have this out. We want to show the world. We want to have this. And at the end of the day, that's probably has been my Achilles heel. Because I'm just so excited to share it.
Right.
That I get it done. But when it comes down to self-production, and that's something that I've kind of gained perspective on over the past two, like, Separate Ways. Separate Ways was one of those songs, like we discussed with the fourth song coming up as a front runner. Separate Ways came up as a front runner, but at the same time, I also was like, I can't just put it out because I want to put it out.
Right.
So I did wait.
Yeah.
I did wait. I sat back on it for a little bit, and okay, this sounds right. This is good. Okay, so that was like the
Listen
first
to it
time.
again, take notes again. Yeah,
it was one of those things where I finally felt comfortable doing it. I knew I needed to learn more and do more and all that stuff. That's just why I approached the next single, Hurt, the way I did, and I learned more on that. And now when I go to do the next single, I feel as if that this experience has really taught me that patience is the most important thing if you're going to self-produce.
Yeah.
Because you have to come at it from, and dude, we do it on this show. Have to come at things at several different angles.
True. Yeah.
You can't be looking at it in one way the whole time. That's just not how life works.
Yeah. Well, and for those of you listening, patience is the number one thing, but also have a timeline and a goal date.
Right.
Even if you pass it, be close, because I will speak from the experience of being on the other side of that, where we called Jimmy's studio the OCD workshop for a reason.
Yes.
Where we had
but that's
songs
because he was
that were ready for a year.
Right.
We had a record that was ready for 8 months.
Right.
You know, and it was just being remixed again, and he'll even admit it. He'll say it.
Oh no, I know. I've spoke to him.
You know, and it's like We had the whiteboard up, and I had dates up, and I was just watching us blow
Blasted,
past
yeah.
these dates, and I was like, we gotta put this out,
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely a balancing act there, but I agree with you. Patience is the number one thing.
Patience
You
is
can't be in a
important,
rush to put shit out,
Yeah.
or else
But-
you're gonna put out not your best work.
But yeah, you do
Right.
have goals, and
Have a
with
date.
that, I think we need to open up another one of these
All right,
because these were very good.
yeah, it is good.
So we're gonna have another one of these.
I still got like half of mine, so I'll wait.
Oh.
I'll wait. You go ahead.
Okay.
I'll open mine up a little later.
Changing gears just a bit
Mm-hmm.
from the musical end of things, as most people know, one of our other bacons happens to be professional wrestling.
Yeah, and we have to talk about it because we said it in the intro.
We did say it in the intro. We did tell everybody this past Sunday or today, depending
Right.
on when you're watching it, that we were going to talk about RASSLIN. That's wrestling.
Yeah.
Dude, wrestling, professional wrestling, I feel, is on this incredible high.
It's fun again.
It is. It's fun again. Not even just from like, and you know, we've had a couple of months back. I was not watching WWE, and we had our things about, and we didn't release the episode because we were pretty incoherent.
Yeah.
And we were arguing about the same things.
Right. Right. Same points.
It was the same points, but it was about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we never. released it.
with me too. Yeah.
But I was not watching WWE because I didn't love it from a creative standpoint, and something that I will say and that I've learned from Jeff Jarrett listening to his podcast is creative is subjective.
Yes. Much like music, much like art,
Everything is
everybody gets what they get
subjective.
out of things.
And I
Some people
I've been
thought John
taking-
Cena was the greatest wrestler of all time.
Right. I honestly, I thought long and hard about that in a lot of ways, and I do think that listen, since Vince McMahon has taken a step back and handed it over to Triple H from the storytelling perspective, WWE has been great to watch.
Yeah.
It's been really
It's
great
been
to watch.
fun.
And that's the one thing that I always want to say is when it comes to wrestling, I don't want WWE to be bad. I don't want TNA or Impact to be bad. Because quite frankly, if they're all good, it's a form of entertainment that I enjoy. And it gives me more options.
Yeah.
And that's, sure, option paralysis is a thing. But, it gives me another way to enjoy it. And then also makes the industry stronger for the people,
The people that
within
are working in it. Yeah. I never understand. I mean, I know the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community.
Oh, my God.
I don't understand the tribalism. I don't understand how anybody who
by far
who
the
has
most
never
negative...
gotten in a wrestling ring can judge anything anybody
It's
does.
by far the most negative fucking community ever.
Yeah.
And so a few months back, I commented on something Raj from I don't remember what the website is.
Right, okay.
Raj from Raj Giri.
Something.
Yeah,
Some wrestling thing.
He does a pretty prominent wrestling website. I said something, and I was just tackled, and I was just like,
Right.
I was tackled from all ends, like we said, like a prism, looked from different angles.
Yeah.
I was attacked from every angle, including my own angle,
Right.
and it's like, why are you? Same team.
Right.
Why are you being a dick?
Right.
So one thing, G in the chat here, Def Chick, was SummerSlam yesterday? No, SummerSlam was the day of our show.
Yes.
Last week.
Last
Saturday. SummerSlam, I got to watch this week. I did a lot of catching up. There was a ton of wrestling, ton of great wrestling.
Yeah, there really was.
Great wrestling on, and one of those things was SummerSlam. We'll start at the top of the card real quick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, SummerSlam as a whole was great.
Pretty excellent.
I saw the runtime of 4 hours 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, and I said to myself, "Wow,
Right.
that's a long wrestling show."
It's been a while since we had that length.
Well, from a WWE standpoint, the big ones. I mean, dude, we had 6-hour WrestleManias, which were hard to get through.
A chore sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but this was one of the quickest 4 hours and 10 minutes that I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, I did watch it in several sittings,
Still,
because I had to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But none of it dragged.
Mm-hmm.
None of it was a chore. But one of again, IWC, I commented because basically somebody was saying something about the whole Roman Reigns Jey Uso title match being tribal combat.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Oh, well, they totally screwed it up." And
Right, they jumped the shark, and I've seen a couple of
well,
those.
no,
And
they said apparently that tribal combat, part of the rules was nobody is allowed to interfere with the match.
I never saw that anywhere.
I'd never seen that myself.
Yeah, you would think that they would have
So I don't
said
know.
that.
I never saw
Said
that
it before the match. Maybe.
So everybody was like, "Oh, well, it's tribal combat," and they just like, they just made it a no DQ match, and it's like,
yeah, but I thought the whole thing
like,
was anything goes, so it was a no DQ match,
right? And the other thing too is like, how deep into the culture do you want to put the culture on display without getting canceled for like a different reason?
Right,
so like, this is an issue to you where you're going, oh well nobody's supposed to interfere, which I like I said, I'd never seen it. Maybe it was listed somewhere. I don't fucking know where it was, but so I basically said, all right, well, if it is, maybe it's pushing toward something more important. It's a story. Right? So if that was a real thing, maybe that can push toward a device that would forward
maybe
this
that's
story.
something they can use later. So far, they've been really good at using everything. What's up, guys? We got a little hint for you here. A little secret. How do you help the show? We've been asked. Here's a way to help the show. Check us out over at patreon.com/baconismypod. You can get lots of extra stuff.
Yeah, like additional shows, ad-free episodes, early episodes. Shoot. Every Sunday, we record our discussions and drinks live with our patrons.
Yeah, so you can have a drink with us while we do it. You can watch us cook things. You can watch us eat things. You can just support the show. And that helps us keep putting these out. It helps us just
keep the show free.
Keep the show free. So thank you guys so much for supporting. All of you over on Patreon already. Our patrons, you guys are our lifeblood. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to help out the show and you want to jump on, you want to be part of that BIMP squad, jump over to patreon.com/baconismypod.
Man, I gotta tell you, this Bloodline story has been fantastic.
Really good.
Now, what I'm hearing is the Bloodline is going to be put on the back burner almost. I heard that as of this week, they're gonna start easing back on the Bloodline stuff and allow certain other things to step forward. I'm really curious as to what that means, because I love this type of storytelling. I would really miss that story.
Well, I'm sure it's maybe just not going to be the overarching number one story. Because I also think that the I think the Finn Balor Damian Priest story is interesting.
I think it's very interesting.
And I can see
think
them
it's
going somewhere with that too, because that's the other big faction that's kind of on top.
I personally think that they're handing too many losses to the Judgment Day.
I agree.
Just because they can.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're still able to be this big and whatever, like, Dominic is winning on NXT, which we can, you could argue, oh, well, NXT is lesser than.
Sure.
I know they're trying to change that narrative, but
part of that is bringing someone like Dominic there to work.
Fact of the matter is that it is less than. Right now it is less than. But man, yeah, I think it's a great story, and I think they're just handing them too many losses. I think they need to be more powerful, more assertive, more of a threat. Right? Like I just feel like they're not really a threat. Even this past week when they had the 6-man tag and then they beat down Sammy, and then they brought in Nakamura, and then Nakamura just like kind of came in, and then they still lost, but then Nakamura turned. Well, he didn't really turn. He attacked the fucking world champ, which is, if you're a competitor in a sport and you're like this, whatever, like, but I don't think they needed to take another loss.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because you've got two members of the Judgment Day that are dominant, right? You've got Rhea and you've got Damien, who are pretty dominant, and they pretty much win.
Yeah. Right?
And then you have two members of the Judgment Day, Dom, whose whole gig is that he's not good enough to be there.
Right.
Right? That's his whole thing. So to hand him losses makes sense. Right? He should be the one being pinned. He should be the one taking losses.
There's got to be one in every faction.
Right. Well, and his character is better for it.
Right.
Right? It makes people hate him that much more when he wins.
It
makes him such a dick. You know,
When he cuts his promo about how great he is, it's just like, fuck you.
Right. You're like, you are not, you know.
Right.
Finn, I mean, I guess the only person he's really lost to is Seth and Cody, who are your top guys. But I agree, like, I personally, I think Finn should have won the championship. That's what I was hoping to see. I
feel like they're holding out for Damian Priest.
See, I would have liked it better if Finn had won, and then we had the storyline of either immediately Damian does it, or Damian's on his ass, and every time Seth's in trouble, he's like just sitting there with it, and it's a thing where he's like creating this tension because he's got somebody breathing down his neck that he doesn't know what's. You know, I think that's an interesting story to take. But they've done so well with the bloodline that I'm kind of like, I'm more apt to be like, well, let's see where it goes, than to like worry about it. And I see people judging it crazy, right? Well, and even the bloodline thing, people are judging the bloodline thing, and I always think
judge everything.
Yeah. So. Which I get, you know, like if you don't like something, you don't like something, and if you want to talk about it, you can talk about it. The part where I really like feel like it gets gross, right, is when you have people that it starts with people bitching about a match, talking about how a match sucks, and then they just start in on the performer and attacking them personally and attacking their you know, like what happened with like Britt Baker and Ty Valkyrie.
Right.
You know, like that just got disgusting.
Right.
Where they start people just online just insulting what kind of shape Ty is in, to the point where like the performer themselves has to come online and go like, hey guys, I get it. I'm awful. I suck and I'm the worst. Like, Like,
Dude.
you know, like, these are human beings. They're human beings, and they don't owe you shit.
Yes. Yes.
Right? They're putting their lives on the line all the time to entertain you. And if it doesn't entertain you, whatever. Keep
Change the channel.
If your way of being upset at the TV show of scripted fighting is to start insulting the conditioning of people that in a real fight could destroy you.
Regardless of gender
Shut,
or their shape.
shut your fucking mouth.
I agree.
Break your fingers if you can't stop from tweeting, you waste of air.
That's the one thing, and I do think that's where you and I, like, when you found out that I wasn't watching WWE and this and that, like, I think that's when you came at me for it. It was just like, I was like, no, man, I don't enjoy it.
Right.
I'm not talking shit about it. I'm just not watching it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's not like I peek in. I think it's one of those things where it's a style. It's a style of entertainment, right?
Yeah.
And there are similar styles to entertainment that will, you know, when has a style of entertainment had this much like longevity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you think about it that way, and when there are new options to watch in that style, and you just happen to enjoy something else more,
Dude, it's like
you're gonna
being
judge the two.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, okay, well, I like this and I don't like this, and then when you don't like as much stuff happening here versus what's happening here, you only got so many hours in a day. You're like, okay, well, if I don't
put 'em where you
like
want 'em.
it, I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm just gonna watch this
Right.
and move forward with my life.
Right.
And that's kind of what I had done for a little while, for 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. But yeah, to attack a performer who's, like you said, just putting their lives on the line every fucking day,
Literally. Like,
and at the same time,
and giving
they're
up.
they're performers, but they're also characters.
Right. They're playing a
They're
character.
They're not. Some of them, you know, a lot of people, they say, "Oh, well, you just take your personality and crank it up to 11." No,
Right.
no. I'm sure Dominic Mysterio is not a real piece of shit.
Right.
He's able to play that character
Wait.
well, but he just takes like certain aspects of his personality, but then also leans into the heel part of it.
Yeah.
So you don't shit on somebody for that. You
Brendan
type
Fraser gained a bunch of weight
for the whale.
for The Whale. If you're the type of person that watches that movie and then goes, I'm going to tweet him that he's a fat piece of shit, it's like, what?
Well, what? Yeah.
What? Or if you're like, okay, Cillian Murphy just played Oppenheimer.
Right.
If you hate Cillian Murphy now because the character he played made the atomic bomb in a movie,
Right.
you
Are an
need
idiot.
help.
You're a fucking moron.
You need help. You need to get a life.
Yes.
You need to figure out that there are things in the world called stories and characters and movies, and
people-
they're not the real thing. And even if you get like, imagine if people knew and had to make the choice. If you're about to tweet, or X, or whatever the hell you want to call it, if you're about to tweet somebody and connect their name to it so that you hope they see it, right? And you're about to hurl some body shaming horrible insults at them, then you need to look at it and go, okay, the best case scenario here is I'm going to have some other people that I don't know and that don't know me go thumb. That's it.
Right.
That's your move, right?
Right.
And you're willing for as many of those as you can get to ruin a human being's day.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Then you need to look in the mirror. You need to lean in close. Look into the eyeballs that are looking back at you. And figure out how to be a better fucking person because you suck.
I agree.
Because, come on. Like, you're going to ruin people's day so that unnamed people go, thumbs up. Like, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. Not the wrestling. Your life is fake. Social media is fake. Fake. Phony. Everyone on there is through a filter. Everyone on there is being a fake person, a fake-ass person that they want you to think they are. Hey, I know things, and I'm smarter than I am in real life, and that's great. If you need that, if you need to bring other people down online to make yourself feel better, get some therapy, get some help, become a better person, and get the fuck offline. Don't insulting human beings for characters they play, or, you know what? Athletic things that they do.
But at the same time, like, and Taya Valkyrie, she's got underlying health issues, too.
Well, she's also been a fitness model. She's also stronger than shit.
Right.
And she's like, I mean, come on.
she's got some underlying health issues.
And she's a professional.
But like, why would you why are you like body shaming people?
I tell you what, if Tony Hawk tries a 900 and doesn't land it, do you go online and tell him how much he sucks? You suck, Tony Hawk. And guess what? He has to do that once every month, year.
Yeah.
Competition. If you have to go do a 450 splash and you have to do it, and you have to do it 4 nights out of the week, and every time you do it, you have to make sure that you don't get hurt, the person you land on doesn't get hurt, that it makes sense in the match, that you're on the right side of the ring for the camera to get you, that you... Come on.
I'm gonna up the ante, and I'm gonna just say, like, from this one, we're talking about Taya Valkyrie. You want to talk about that on AEW TV? Well, AEW happens, right? Mm-hmm. But what else does she do? Right? Like, yeah, you've got your Moxleys, you got your Danielsons, you got, so they appear on TV this day, and this day. Taya, she works in Mexico.
Yep.
So at any given time, she could have just gotten off a plane or worked a match knowing that she has to pack her shit up, run to an airport, and get the fuck to Mexico. She works indies, she works signings, she works all sorts of things. She's not just a one-dimensional TV character. She does things elsewhere.
Right.
So it's not just doing it 2 or 3 times or 4 times a week. It's doing it, but also being able to do that after a 9-hour flight.
Right.
And putting your gear on in a fucking taxi to try and get to the venue in time. And hustling. It's all the extra shit that goes on, too. So, again...
And if you have an opinion...
That's one person,
one person. But man, that stuck out to me this week. And it was like, it really annoyed me because it was seeing her reaction from it was like, man. Dana Brooks, another one. Right? Like, I don't care if you think Dana Brooks sucks. I don't care. That's fine. That's your opinion. You want to go online and say Dana Brooks sucks. Say she sucks. You want to say you didn't like the match? Say you didn't like the match. You want to say you pulled this move off poorly? You're probably an idiot that can't do it yourself, and you're going to say things and talk out of your ass. But you know what? A lot of people do that. They do that all the time. Right. I can't tell you how many times I get criticism from people who can't do things. It's amazing.
Right.
But that's also fine. You want to start attacking their lifestyle, their looks,
the personality,
the person, the human being.
You don't know who the fuck they are
behind it. Telling them they should retire. This type of shit annoyed me back when I hate it when a band that's been around for a long time comes out with a new record.
Oh my god.
And people are like, I don't like it. They should have retired years ago. I'm like, man, go fuck yourself. If Ozzy Osbourne wants to make records and tour until he drops dead on stage, God bless him. Do it. Do it all day, man. You don't owe me quitting when I stop liking your stuff. I don't like how you sing now. You should retire and not do it for anyone. Talk about main character syndrome in your life. Right? To walk around thinking because you don't like Metallica's new song, they should hang it up.
Right.
Right? And then you're going to get with like your 4 friends and be like, let's all make fun of Metallica. Right? Like, Metallica is a ginormous, successful, really, really good band.
I said it recently. I said it,
like,
it would
come
be
on.
you would be really hard pressed to turn around to me, or for any musician, or for anybody to be like, Metallica sucks.
Right. Like, they just don't.
So
sorry,
you
cannot
really
like
hard pressed.
And you can say they suck, but don't tell me they should have retired. Like, you think
they should have retired.
They should have retired.
You know what?
Right. Okay. All right.
How do you put food on your table?
Right. Are you gonna retire?
Oh, cool. You're a reception person. You answer phones.
I know people that have sucked at their job for years and they don't retire.
They don't retire.
They don't fucking retire.
Right. It's like, you know what? Metallica, I don't know. I think let's look at the time here. 40-year career, pretty successful 40-year career. Yeah. I think they're entitled to do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, and you know who says they should retire? People who pay $300 to go see them. Who's the dumbass?
Right. Yes. I did see a post about that.
Right? Like, I paid $500 to see you guys, and you didn't play the song I wanted. You should have retired. Like, what? You don't sound like you sounded when you were 20. Hey, you know what? Neither do you. Just because you put up pictures of yourself in high school doesn't mean you still look like that.
Yeah.
Now who's being negative?
Hey, man.
This shit annoys me, man. It annoys me so much.
It was so funny because literally I saw that post from a person this week, and we were talking to somebody this week about said person, and you were like, man, I don't want to talk shit.
I'm not talking shit about a person. I hear lots of people say this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there was a post about a person.
I'm not talking about specific anything.
Yeah. There was somebody who said that.
What? And you know
person.
what? Lump them in with all the people that say it.
Right.
You're dumb.
I gotta tell you, man. Yeah.
And they're like, my opinion is valid. I have 1,000 followers. I have 10,000 people on Facebook that want to hear what I have to say. Shut up. Shut up. Ooh. Oh my God.
I needed that.
Oh my God. You influence no one. Shut up.
I love that. Well, I love this. I love the fire.
It makes me so mad.
I love that fire that just happened.
I hate this, and ironically, coming from me on a podcast talking about it,
right?
I hate the self-importance of my opinion matters because I'm online. And I'll say right now,
Yeah.
my opinion doesn't mean shit. None of anything that I'm saying is worth anything, right? I'm just saying everybody should be nicer to everybody. And that's just like, you could disagree with me and be a bad person if you want.
I don't listen. When you do anything in a public forum, you are opening yourself up to criticism, to negativity, to that kind of stuff. I don't like this. Well, you know what? The internet has given us a voice. We would have said it here.
Yeah.
Between us.
Yep.
And between other friends and stuff like that. So, sure. That's fine. But yeah, to think that you know somebody.
Right.
Well enough to be like...
To tag them.
They fucking suck.
To tag them in a post.
I mean,
where you're like, you're fat and you suck at your job, professional wrestler who's being paid to be a professional wrestler.
To play a character on a TV show that requires athleticism.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a pedophile who eats babies, Tom Hanks. Would you say that to Tom Hanks' face? If you would, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, where do people get off? What's this? It's like...
Yeah. It is...
I need to say this, and they need to hear it from me. They need to hear it from Jimmy and West Babylon in the garage. They need to hear it from me. You know, like... You don't need to hear it from me.
Tom Hanks doesn't eat babies, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
He doesn't. People think he does. We should do an episode on conspiracy theories because that's a wild one. Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, let's pick.
Woo!
Let's pick a few.
Eating babies. Whew. There's people that, people are weird, man.
People are weird.
People are weird. Anyway, be nicer to people.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Like, come on.
We were supposed to talk about wrestling, and it turned into
a rant on social media.
Well, no, you know what, dude?
But it still was about wrestling because those were catalysts, man.
I think that the internet makes people create this self-importance about themselves.
Right.
And, hey, man, we all have opinions. And you know what they say about opinions?
Yeah.
They're like assholes. Everybody's got one.
I tell you what, if you think I suck and I'm fat, DM me with some advice on healthy eating or a workout regime. Or be like, hey, man, how you feeling? Or what's going on?
Come see you at a show.
Or come see me at a show.
And see how well this conditioning has done for you and your art.
Well, come up to me, to my face, and be like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I fancy myself someone who can tell you, this person that I've never met, that you are a fat, out of shape piece of shit. Feel free. Come to me. Come to me and talk to me about it. But come to me in a way of like, here's some diet advice. Here's some workout advice. You know, constructive.
Bring something to the table.
Bring something. Like give me constructive criticism. I can take that. I can take it. But don't be like, don't at me to other people and be like, doesn't everybody think this? Everybody agree with me so I can feel important.
or I dare you to do that.
I have friends. I don't know what any of them look like, but I have friends.
I gotta tell you, there's a part of me that makes me go, or do that, and hold on to your hats, folks, because that person's gonna get fucking roasted. And I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
Actually, I was talking to.
I've been witty before.
I was talking to Chris from Kaleido.
Yeah.
Earlier this week about trolls.
Yeah.
So she put something out. And
girls get it so much worse.
And she's like, has anyone ever actually met an internet troll? And I told her, I was like, dude, I have once had the realization that a friend was an internet troll.
Right.
I was like, that's a fucking trip. So she direct messaged me and she's like, who is it? And I was like, hey, listen, personal friend, this and that.
Right,
and
right.
This is a story, and she's like, holy shit. She's like, I've had that before, and I never really looked at it from that perspective.
Right,
like,
right.
Holy shit. But yeah, don't be a troll.
Yeah.
Don't be a troll. If you're gonna be a troll, you could probably do something more productive.
Trolls are
with your
just
life.
hecklers.
Yeah, but
Right, they're
we heckle
hecklers.
each other.
Yeah, but trolls are hecklers that don't know. It's like hecklers at a comedy show.
Right.
It's someone that's far less creative, witty, or smart than the person that they're talking shit to.
Or able.
Right? But at least the ones at a comedy show have the balls to say it in a room where the person's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and allow themselves to be there in the court of public opinion in that small room. You know, internet trolls are just, it's just, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If 100 people think that you're funny and then 1,000 people call you an asshole, like, that's your day? That's your thing? That's like, guess what I did today, Mom? Like, that's your move? That's it? That's your thing?
That's it.
That gets you, like, furiously whack it later that night because you got mentioned 3 times? You sack of shit.
Yeah. I feel.
Do you feel vindicated because I am the negative Nancy? This time. You've been way more level-headed than me on this one.
Hey, listen, you took
I'm like,
a path.
rebel.
You took a path, and I said, okay, we can go this path.
Yeah.
I've been working to get off that path.
I know. You got me
And-
wound up.
And
Sometimes I get wound up. I apologize, everyone, for getting wound up.
it's okay.
I'm doing it, though. I'm being the troll.
I like Red Ass Jimmy. I think it's pretty cool. Every once in a while, I'd love to talk
I'm being the
to Red
asshole
Ass
online.
Jimmy. When I'm Red Ass too.
Yeah. Well, we
We can
can't
do-
both at the same time.
Oh, I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be.
Neither of us would say anything. We'd just be like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and we'd just yell over each other.
Oh, is that like what the episode was? That yeah. Okay.
Right when we got drunk and we talked wrestling.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
We couldn't put it out because all we did was
because we were just talking in circles about the same thing.
right.
And agreeing despite not agreeing.
Right. You're not saying it the same way I'm saying it, so you must be wrong.
Yeah. Well, the booze did that.
It does.
The booze did that,
It does that.
where it alters the
Brain
words.
chemistry.
He came from his
the
mouth
brain to
and
word
into my
ratio.
ears and
Yeah,
through
to
the-
ears. Yeah.
and then back out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys,
It's a
thank you.
disaster Jenga.
Yes, exactly. Guys, thanks for listening. It started as wrestling talk. We
It started as music recording talk.
yeah,
and
we
then-
were going to talk about wrestling, but
And
music
then-
recording and
yeah.
then like other
Hey,
stuff. And
wrestling's
I-
been really fun lately.
Yes, go
You should
check it
definitely
out.
check it out.
Definitely check it out. We've got
Yeah.
a big weekend. A big weekend coming up this weekend. We've got 2 weekends from now. We got All In
All Out.
AEW.
They're all in. Yeah.
All In.
All in.
From Wembley Stadium. The weekend after we got
Then we have
All Out.
Yep.
Which I mean we could potentially watch both of them.
Yeah.
Be like,
They sold 80,000 so far
that's fucking crazy. Good for
without
them.
announcing a match.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it wasn't even just like not announcing a match. They didn't even have teases to what matches.
Yes, yeah.
Like, there was legit
Dude, and
nothing.
you remember when they booked it, people were like, "Oh man,
No way.
if people were like, if they sell 35,000 tickets, they're a success." You know, and then they were like, you know, the people we're talking about that are like, "A failure," right? But it's like this company that's been around 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years based on just the excitement and the recognition of what they do and what they're about. 80,000. It looks like it's going to be like 85,000 tickets. That's like almost a sellout.
It's wild. No. I think it was
Right?
84,000 is going to be sellout.
Is it? God,
84,000
That's-
tickets is going to be sellout.
awesome. That
Good
is
for
awesome.
them. Good
Yeah.
on them. The wrestling industry is back to fun on a lot of different facets. AEW, WWE, like,
Yeah.
and I know there was like the Monday Night Wars and this and that, but like, rising tide
Lifts all ships.
Yep, raises all ships. And man, when one works harder, the other one works harder, and they all, we as an audience benefit the most.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know,
So it's awesome.
yeah.
I'm excited
So-
for it. I'm excited for them.
all in, all out coming up. We got some really cool shit going on with the Bloodline. There was a twist with Jey Uso straight
Yeah.
up fucking quitting, where I was kind of like, wow, that's a crazy turn in this story.
Right.
I did not expect that at all. It kind of,
Yep.
what you and I were talking about,
was
the
excited.
catalyst for this was the fact that he was saying, okay, I hope Jimmy Uso
Yeah.
doesn't just rejoin the bloodline. He did use the mentality that you were kind of saying.
I was
where it's just
excited to
like,
see that.
I just don't want you to become him.
Right, right.
So yeah, definitely go watch a little bit of wrestling. Watch the vignettes.
a good
Watch
time.
like the past like couple of months. It's a good time. It's a great way to get your mind off things when you're booking podcasts weeks a day or two in advance.
Look up the Bloodline story on YouTube and just kind of see what they
Yeah.
did. It's a great it's a
good story in
It's
general.
a soap opera.
It's
It's
a
a
great
drama.
story in general.
Yeah, that's well done.
Yeah. So if you're booking podcasts or shows, or writing music or dealing with things in your normal day life that stress you out, you know, it's a fun way to get away from it. RASSLIN, that's wrestling.
Sometimes it can be bacon.
Wrestling is a bacon. Mm-hmm. You know what else is a bacon?
What's that?
My bacon is Red Ass Jim.
My bacon is nice people.
Yeah, nice people is great.
Nice people rule.
You know what? Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Don't be judgmental to people online about things that you don't fucking know.
Saying something mean about somebody else does not take
Essentially an
Thing-
actor.
does not take the thing that sucks about you away.
Right.
Right? You still suck. So just try to suck less in your life so that you can not make other people's lives suck.
Yeah.
Be a person people like to see come in a door.
Not walk out.
Dusty Rhodes said that.
So did Mark Barrow.
America dream.
That's right, baby. The American Dream. Dustin Rhodes.
He's just a common man, working hard with his hands.
Are we going to get cut? Like, is that going to be a...
I think we cut it off just in
Okay,
time.
cool. Guys, thank you for listening. Check him out, Jimmy G's Shoes, his band, CravingStrange.net. Me personally, me, my own self, Mike. And also something heavy music on all the socials.
BaconIsMyPodcast.com for all your Bacon Is My Podcast needs,
Yes.
including links to all of our sponsors like Manscaped, 20% off, like Drink Wild Bills, like Grill Your Ass Off. Check those out. They're all on the page. All the best deals are for you there. Grab yourself some swag, some BIMP swag like Mike's rocking right there. And thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/BaconIsMyPod. You guys
Lifeblood.
rule.
Yes.
They're here with us live right now. You guys are awesome. And if you want to be a part of that, jump over there, check it out, see what you think. And, in general, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And
Oh,
send us some trolley stuff.
yeah. And something I do want to say
Yeah.
is moving forward, the next couple of weeks, if you're listening now, we got a lot of really cool shows coming up.
Yes.
We have, besides this, we have this Friday, we have Letter Kills doing What's Your Bacon in 7 Questions. We got,
Yes.
then on Monday, we have our buddy DJ Diafario from Werewolves coming back
AJ.
to doing, what's that?
AJ.
Oh, I said,
You said DJ.
Oh, did I say? I
Yeah.
meant AJ.
Yeah.
My
I know.
bad. Yeah. AJ from Werewolves, he's coming back. He's going to be a special guest host while we bring on Letter Kills.
Yeah.
We're going to have discussion and drinks with the creator of Grill Your Ass Off. That's going to be really cool. We're going to talk about grilling and whatnot. And then also, we've got the band Lilac, LYLVC, which I think you guys are going to like them.
We had such a good time.
Yeah.
Such a good time.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff. We got a really, really cool docket of shows ahead of us. Heading into September, we've got some really cool shit happening. So
Yeah, stay tuned.
hopefully everything comes to fruition.
It's going to be good.
Big couple of months on Bacon is My Podcast. So always remember to ask yourself one super duper important question. What is that, Jimmy?
What's your bacon? Well, peace.